Hello, everyone. I don't know what I'm really going to talk about today. Let's choose to talk about some life progress, an update of my life. Not much has been really going on. Actually, there are a couple things I do want to talk about. Is my college classes are starting today, August 1st. There's been a problem with 5GU, and because it's the first day of class, all of the new students who are trying to log in all at once, they can't register all at once. And so it'll probably be until this afternoon before I can register for all of my classes. I have to do 5 classes this semester, okay? Now I'm going to try and accelerate and get all of those classes done by my birthday. So I have about 30 classes to take. I transferred in about, it says on my thing, 28% to my completion. So I'm about 28% the way to getting my degree. And so I have 30 more classes to take, and I'll probably go through them really quickly. Like I said, I want to get all of my classes done by January 5th, 2001, which is my birthday. I want it to be like a birthday present for me. I'm going to try and get it by really quick, even faster than that. But like bare minimum, that's the like closest I can get. That's like the furthest it should take to get my degree. Now you might be like, Tyler, that's too fast. That's 30 classes in like almost 6 months. It's pretty much 5 months. And they're like, how do you do that? YGU is an online university because it's fully focused on that. You just pay a certain amount every 6 months, which is one term for them. It's 2 terms per year. And you pay about $4,000, okay? And you pay that, and you basically can take as many classes as you want. You do still have to show academic progress, so you can't just take one class a term. You got to take at least 3 or 4. But it's really easy to get through all these classes. I've already studied for organizational behavior, which is my first class in success in business. And I've taken the pre-assessment for that. So that shows you where you should study and if you're confident enough to get to pass the test, because you have to pass all of the sections that are in the test. So there's 4 or 5 different sections that each class covers that you have to pass. So for like organizational behaviors, organizational culture, one of the sections is leadership, and there's 2 or 3 others. One of them is team building, and the other one is projects. No, I forgot what the other one was. Groups. It's on group, because groups and teams are different in an organization. Teams are more closely built together, so people interact more. It's about being in a team, while being in a group, it's mostly about how good is the work I can do. It's all about the individual. And so that's part of the reason why I chose YGU. So that's like an update on my life. But another thing that happened was I was coming back from work because, like, you guys should know if you read the first or watch the first video, I work every day except for Tuesday and Thursday usually. Now, like next week, I have Monday off, including the Tuesday and Thursday. So I have 3 days off. But I was coming back. So I worked yesterday from 6:45 to 3. Now I came in late because I thought I was supposed to be there at 7:15. That's what the schedule showed, but they had changed it last minute. So I was late, and I went to work or whatever, and I'm coming home from work, and I live about 15 minutes away from where I work. I work at a fast food restaurant. I'm not going to say whichever one, but I was coming home, and a police pulled me over because I was speeding. And I know speeding is bad, but the thing was is he was unmarked police vehicle, and he the only difference that I could tell he was from a different car is he had the steel protection that people put on their bumpers. So if you're into racing or whatever, they'll put those on there. Or if you're a police, so when you ram into a car, it doesn't like damage your bumper or your engine. And so I didn't know, and he didn't have lights on his car. They were on the inside of his car. So I didn't know he was a police officer. And basically how I almost got a ticket, he let me off, but I almost got a ticket, was because I was in the right lane and I was going over 5 miles over the speed limit. And there were three cars in the left lane, and it was two cars that were going below the speed limit or at the speed limit, and then there was the police car underneath him. He was an SUV. Like I said, I didn't know he was a police or whatever. And I was coming up to pass these three cars or whatever. And the police car, he sped up, and he sped up like he was going to try and outrun me and get past these two cars that were slowing him down. It was too late, and he sped up, and I was going the same speed limit, and I made it to the cars before him, so he jumped in my lane as fast as possible. I ended up speeding up, because I knew he was in a rush. I was like, he's in a rush, like he's trying to jump all these cars, he's trying to swerve in between traffic. And so I sped up, and I went up to 15 miles of the speed limit to get past these two cars so he could get back in the left lane and go past me, because I figured out he was in a rush and maybe something was happening and I didn't want to delay him or whatever. And so I start speeding up, and eventually I'm going up to 15 miles of the speed limit. And then he speeds up behind me. He's on me behind me. And then he turns his lights on. And so I have to there were shops on the side of me, on the side of the road, that were pulling into like the parking lots of shops by the time he pulled me over. So I had to go past those. So I wasn't really blocking anyone before I could pull over. And so he was like very suspicious. And thankfully he didn't give me a ticket, but he was very rude at the beginning, but I gave him my license plate, or I gave him my license and my registration, and he checked them, and then he came back and he was like super nice. I think it's because he noticed I'm only 23, so I'm pretty young. I can make bad decisions, mistakes, but also I've never had a ticket before. And he probably thought I was a repeat offender. I'm working at a fast food restaurant, and we don't have the best quality of employees. And I was wearing my uniform coming back. So he saw, because the fast food restaurant I work with has a uniform. And so he saw who I worked for and everything. So he probably had low expectations, or he thought I was like a former criminal, or I had speeding tickets before. But he came back and he was really nice. I really appreciated that. So that like scared me, and it almost made me think I want to make so much money that if I get pulled over, it doesn't affect me. Like if I get pulled over for going 10 miles over the speed limit, I can pay the $100, $300, and it not be, it won't destroy my finances like it does now, or delay my, move out date by a month. Um, and my insurance go up. Like I want to be able to afford better insurance. So if I do get that ticket, I'm not like freaking out in my head while I'm getting the ticket. That's given me a lot more motivation to make more money. And so that's why this degree is important, because this is just the first step. I don't plan on being an accountant for, 50 years, at least not the basic accountant. Like I said, it's a career path. It is a career path. So you can move up in it. So if one day I'm like the CFO, or I'm a controller, I'm that's fine, but I don't want to be like the basic accountant. I want to manage some people so I get paid more, so I make more progress in my career. Now, if I find out accounting and finance isn't working for me or whatever, then I'll switch careers, or I'll stay in it until like I build up a side hustle, or like maybe my YouTube channel will grow big enough that I don't have to focus all on accounting. So it all depends. But I don't want to just stick in accounting, making, at the bare minimum, at the bottom level as an accountant. I want to move up. And if accounting doesn't work, or finance, working with a company's finance doesn't work, then I have you guys as a backup plan. I have a personal brand as a backup plan. There hasn't really been anything else in my life that's changed a lot. Like I said, I've been making small wins and doing some small bets. Like this is a YouTube channel is like a bet. It's my hedge. When some people are like, what is a hedge? It's to basically lower your risk. Now you're like, I've never heard of that before. Like, why are you starting a YouTube channel as a hedge? Let's get into that. I think that's going to be the main topic of my video today. And so let's get started on that. So why did I choose to make a YouTube channel? What's the point? Well, How does that hedge against anything? It hedges against a, a certain technology. And this technology, you probably all know, it's big in the news, is AI. I'm a big fan of it. I know a lot of people like hate it. You're gonna lose your job from it, but you can get massive productivity gains out of it. And so I think it's gonna change the world now. It's also a very dangerous technology to society, and that's why I've created this YouTube channel. Now, for a hedge, you also have to have a bet. This is if you're in the stock market and you think you can make 100% return on a option trade, but you want to hedge against that because you could lose all your money. You want to like do a hedge where you only lose max like 50% of all your money if the trade goes really badly. Now, you have to use money to have that hedge. You have to use money to pay for that hedge. And so your return does go down. So you don't have as drastically as a return, but you also don't lose everything. So if you make a bad decision, you don't lose everything. You don't lose everything, and then you lose the money that you've tried to make for 20 years, all of your retirement, and then you jump off a building. Because that's what's happened to a lot of people, especially in financial crisis. So that's why like a hedge is important. Now, this YouTube channel is like a bet for the future, my future, but also a hedge against the future. Okay, so it's a bet for my future, but it's a hedge against the future of society. Okay, it's not a hedge. It's a against for myself. It's against the environment that's going to happen in 20 years, 40 years. And so it's a hedge against AI because AI is never going to replace having a personal community. If I build up a 100,000, 50,000 community, all based around my interests, the different interests I have, or the struggles I went through, that's never going to be replaced. And AI can never replicate. Now, can I make an AI chatbot that would, make the same decisions I could and everything? Yes, that's coming. Maybe it's not perfect right now, but we already know that we've seen that coming with people trying to revive their dead parents or grandparents or dead presidents or famous people for like advice and what would you think on this but it's not perfect. I don't think it ever will. I'm also creating this before the AI revolution because a technology that changes the world, it usually takes about 20 years to spread everywhere. Sometimes it's a little faster, so you can do it in 10 years. That's what the smartphone did after iPhone released the first smartphone. It took about 10 years to dominate smartphones to dominate the market and crush all the local companies that were using dumber phones, the flip phones. And now in the beginning, not many people accepted the smartphones. All the companies were like, we can't do this because there were too many interest groups around their old projects because now you didn't need the buttons for a flip phone. All those people, if you stop using them as a supplier for your phones, they will no longer support you like politically, or if you're in trouble, they won't longer help you. And so all these interest groups around these companies who built these flip phones, they fought to get rid of those smartphones for it to never exist because all those companies would go bankrupt or they would have to switch to another sector of the market. And so it took 10 years before smartphones really dominated the market and spread across the world. And so AI is the same way. There are still security concerns. There are risk concerns for humanity, job replacement, like house regulation, because we are really in the early stages of AI. AI didn't really take off until 2017 to 2018, where the first Transformers ever happened. And that's when OpenAI, which was the one who started this AI bubble, this AI revolution to the public when they released ChatGPT, they didn't start up till after they saw that paper after 2018, where they were like, that paper said with transformer models, all you need is big data. The more data, the better your models will be. And that's what the premise of their startup was. And so I don't think it'll ever replace the personal brand. But even if it does, By then, I'll have 50,000, 100,000 subscribers. I'd be doing it for 20 years, 10 years. I would definitely, as long as I grow my channel and make my videos better, I'd have way more subscribers. And so that would be enough to fund a lifestyle if I lose my job at that time, because that's when like major job replacement will be happening. By 20 years, job replacement will probably be complete because this rolls out in stages. So people will start getting replaced and it'll be in higher and higher numbers. And so this will be like my hedge. By then I'll have a big enough personal brand where I can like sell you guys products, which I know you guys are like, I'm not going to accept any creator products, but they'll be good. Like, I'm not going to scam you guys. I don't want to go to jail, but also like I don't want to ruin the audience that I built, because if I just try to scam you guys for like 100K, 200K, yeah, I'll have some money to survive, or I'll make $1 million off of you guys shilling out fake products or sponsors that I don't use. But you guys will catch on. I won't have a good reputation anymore. I'll be known as a scammer like Logan Paul, and I'll lose a ton of my view. It's in the short term, it's a good idea, but long term, it's a horrible idea to ruin your audience just for $1 million when your audience is worth 20 million or even more than that. You might be like Mr. Beast, who like has the attention of 100 million people, like almost the size of a continent, or even more than that. You have the attention of so many people, you can make like billions of dollars. At that point, it's better to create your own products instead of sponsor others. And that's what he's done. So this is like the hedge. Also, it builds like a community around me. I can talk to people about my interests. Go back and watch video 2. Video 1's not uploaded because I gotta wait for it to be deleted by YouTube. And I don't want to get copyright strike, but video 2 talks about this. Now this is video 3, but so I won't get in too much into that. So this is like my hedge. And even if AI can completely replace me and everything, and you can't tell if I'm real or not, I can use the AI, even if I'm not real anymore. Okay. But if you're getting value from me, if you're getting results in your life because of the advice I give you or something I talk about, or you're finding motivation from me, it doesn't matter if I'm real or not. Let's be honest. If I watch a YouTube video about how to be motivated more and I apply those lessons to my life and I get results out of it, I don't care if you're AI or not. That just, as long as I can help you. But like AI is not as good as that. Now, I do want to mention I have started using AI in my videos. Now I know second video and even first video I said I don't want to use AI. At least in the first video I did that. I don't know about the second video. I think I mentioned it really briefly that I wasn't going to be doing. I know I mentioned in video 2 I wasn't doing any editing or whatever, but like I've realized now by looking at this state of AI, I've been always looking at it for the past year since ChatGPT came out, but I never really used it much except for ChatGPT to do my homework or whatever, or do schoolwork or summarize something. But it really does increase productivity, and I wanted to use this because nowadays, if you have a basic video or whatever, you should be able to edit it very quickly. Like you shouldn't have a lot of problems in your video. You shouldn't have a lot of filler words. You really shouldn't have those. And because these AI services enable you to do that. There are free ones, paid ones. I'm using right now, I'm even recording on it. I'm using let me have my computer, Descript. So Descript video editing. I'm paying for like the hobbyist one. I think it's like $24. It's like $19. It was down. It was 24 on the website. It's 19 a month. I decided to pay it because it's like motivation for myself. I'm paying $20 to edit videos. I gotta be making videos. That's $20 a month. And that's a lot for me. Maybe it's not for you, but it's a lot. And so I'm using that. I'm using it mainly to edit my videos because I've tried to use like the script writing because I was curious. It's not very good. I might use ChatGPT, or I might use, because I have a ChatGPT $20 account or whatever. And so that's $20 a month for that. So I might use it for that. I haven't been really using it. but I'll probably use it for like script writing because the script writing on Descript isn't very good. It just gives me like generic advice, like, okay, you make this video, this idea, or whatever, and you explain why. And I don't need that. Like, I want to apply these topics I'm talking about to my personal life to give some examples because I got a lot to talk about. I have this whole notebook about ideas. I don't really want to, I'll give you like a quick rant and look at it so you can see it. I'm not going to really focus on the camera. These are going to be like surprises, and these are only like a couple I've had. And so that's pretty much why I'm using it as a hedge. If it doesn't work out, it was just a hedge against inflate AI and like inflation and everything. So if it doesn't work out, that's okay. I might only have 10,000 subscribers in 20 years. Like this is just that's why it's also a bet. As long as I consistently post Tuesday and Thursday, 2 days a week, minimum, at least 15-minute videos, which this is already a 23-minute video. As long as I post that much, I should get more subscribers or build a better audience or a bigger audience, not better, bigger audience. And so that's why it's a bet because this channel might not work out. I'm spending about really to set everything up like an hour, 2 hours a day, just recording videos 2 days a week. And it might be more. I might try because I got to really talk about that. I'm enjoying just ranting because I'm trying to fix that, but I'm ranting on video. It lets me like get all my thoughts out. But also, I've never really recorded stuff anymore, except for maybe once in high school where I had to do a project as a sophomore or freshman. And I remember that. And it was really interesting and really fun. And it's fun to rewatch my recordings and be like, okay, like this is what I could do better. Because that's what I try to do is to watch my recordings just to see like what I could do better. I like to take notes on what can be better. Now, I'm using Descript not just for editing, but also to do transcription services because there's a channel I watch who has a newsletter. It's called Basecamp with Simon and Simone. It's a very good pod. It is a pod. They release it as a podcast, a video, and a newsletter. Okay. The reason they do that is to spread their message as far as possible. Let me get some water. Sorry about that. I know you guys, you're probably like, he's not very professional. I'm sorry, these videos aren't going to be. I am talking for a long time. So Simon based camp with Simon and, yeah, base camp with Simon and Simone. They're one of the channels I watch for like predictions of the future and things about that. I know if you look them up, they're like a weird couple, like some of the views. I don't agree with everything they say, but I do agree with a lot what they say. And they like to spread their message as far as possible. And the way they do that is they use an AI. They use Descript. That's where I got the AI to use. They use Descript. Now, Descript, the great thing with it is it automatically does transcription. And so what they do is they do a newsletter, same name as their YouTube, and it has a YouTube video at the top, and then it has the transcript underneath of all the videos. So they embed the YouTube video in their newsletter. They use Substack, which I'm going to do that too. And I just want to spread my message far. So if you can't hear really well, I can't either. You can use the transcription, and it makes it really easy. Like before you had to hire someone to listen and write it all down. Now you can use an AI that's about 90%. That's what they say on the website. And it's pretty good. I've used it for some test videos. I have my computer with me, which is why I'm not completely looking at the screen or looking at the camera all the time. So I can see the time and everything. So that's what I have. And I'm using Descript. Like I said, the transcription's really good. And I'm going to try and spread my message as far as possible. Now, Dan Coe talks about this, where I don't want to use your writing. So you want to take notes on the knowledge and things you've learned in life, and you want to take your notes and transform them into a blog post and then use that to create a YouTube video. Basecamp with Simone and Simon. I'm just going to call it Simone and Simon. what they do is they just create a transcript automatically. So they probably don't know as much about the topics because they're not articulating it and writing it down and thinking about the topic as much. Now they're very good communicators, very intelligent, very know what they're doing. So I don't see a problem with them. And so I'm going to try that. Now, I might try to articulate my thoughts on notes. And then what I'll do is because I have notes of stuff I read and things I learn and everything that I keep as ideas for YouTube. And I might write down those notes in programmed. Sorry, my nose is all messed up. As notes for that are like 1 page long per topic. And it goes over, and I want to flesh out those ideas. And once I flesh them out, maybe I'll create those as like a blog post and then I'll make a video off of those notes. Okay. And then I'll use the transcript from those videos as my newsletter. So my blogs might be more professional than my videos and my transcripts, which means maybe it'll take longer to read. Maybe it'll have more difficult concepts and things that's hard to understand, but it'll be more in depth that I can get over more than like an hour long video. Because that's probably going to be the longest my videos are. Maybe they could be longer. I'll probably have to take like multiple cuts and add them together if I'm doing that. Because probably 1 hour is the longest I can really talk for without taking a break, going off for a walk. And so that it'll probably that's probably the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to have a blog for more advanced, more in-depth topics. And then I'm going to condense those ideas, topics, whatever you can call them, into video ideas. And then my newsletter will probably be the transcripts of it. And so I'm still thinking about it. I still got to get all that stuff up because that means I have to do more setup in the future because the transcription of the videos probably that'll be really easy because I can use this AI service and I already tried it out. It's pretty good. So that won't take any longer and I can set up a newsletter pretty easily and I probably won't try to promote it or anything except in the YouTube channel. So that's not going to take up much more work, but like having more notes because I'm starting college and so I'm trying to get that as fast as possible to get my undergraduate, my bachelor's. And so that's going to take up the majority of my time after work because I pretty much have 5 hours a day after work in all the hours if I take out sleep and work. And so I have to make that decision. So the blogs might come later than the newsletter. The newsletter I'll probably start either next video or next week. So either video log 4 or 5. It all depends on like my scheduling and how I can take my classes and everything. So it's up to you guys. Now I do want to talk. I did get a new mic. And I know the video quality on the first 2 videos was not great. Looking back, like watching it, but it's the best I can do. And it took a lot of time to set this up, and so it was hard to get it set up with the webcam and with this all set up on the same computer. They were having like problems with it, so it took me about 30 minutes to get it all set up. And so I have this. It's like a $20 little mic. I forgot what they're called. My audio quality is way better. Now it could be even better. I want to eventually get one of those like microphones that you can talk to and everything. But those are like $50 minimum. Get like a Yeti microphone, whatever it is. But that's like too much money for right now. That'll probably be after a month, 2 months, I might get one of those. Probably by when I move out, because then I'll have my own room and I can record in that instead of just recording, in a study room at a local library. Has there been any other updates in my life? I don't want to really talk about any other topic. This is going to be a mainly video on life progress and how I'm using this channel to hedge against AI. And also as a bet. Like I said, this is like a small win. Every day I post, Tuesday. Every week I post because it's only like 2 days. It's a small win. So, like I said, if I did recommend a channel in here, I'm probably going to I'll put it in the subscription, like a channel recommendation on the description of the video. And I'm going to recommend them because they're one of the main channels that I watch. Because in the age of AI, and I know there's been some research talking about this, in Gen Z, which I am a Gen Z, and even lower Gen Alpha, whatever they call it, the younger generations, we are more likely to get our news sources from online communities, certain personalities, instead of just like local news or looking it up because it's too much information. And with AI, there's going to be a ton of fake information. So you have to find the people you trust. Like you got to watch the Huberman, like for health or whatever. He's the number one in like health podcasting and everything. And tons of people followed his advice. And I've listened to stuff I needed help on. And he's taken advantage of the fact that as there's more information, you have to find people you can trust because you only have so many hours a day for you to research a topic. And so people used to get it off the local news and everything, or just then it became like, I'm going to use Wikipedia. And now it's from sources that you trust, people you trust. And so they're one of the people I do trust because they really look at scientific data and they're not afraid to debate you. You can always go in their comments and I think you're wrong because this and this. Now, if you just think I think you're wrong, then yeah, you shouldn't be commenting. But if you think you have a quality, maybe I saw this study or whatever, they'll go over it and they'll tell you why maybe that study's wrong, or maybe they were wrong and you're right, or there's conflicting data. So you can't really tell. They're really based on studies and scientific data. That's one of the things I like about them because they're about that. And so that's gonna be a channel recommendation. I might do channel recommendations in my videos, different ones for every video, but I'll run out of channels and it'll probably all depend. I'll probably do it for certain videos. If I mention like a channel, I'll just mention them as a channel. Like I said, these videos, I'm trying to find out like a good format because I don't want them to be, too formal, but I really don't want them to be me ranting all over I kind of want to make different sections so I don't go back over topics I've already discussed in the video or looking back at remember I said that I don't want to keep saying the same stuff to artificially inflate my videos. I want to really condense my videos down to especially since I know you guys don't have a lot of time, like even me, like you have a job, you're probably working a long time. That's why you should pursue time freedom or starting a personal brand. Because if you do that for 4 hours a day, you have the rest of the day. Like you really focus on that and then you spend the rest of your day, doing whatever, you have a lot more freedom, a lot more time and opportunities can come your way. That's another video. I don't want to get started into it. It's already been 36 minutes. Now video, I think that's everything. I've talked about the AI. This is my risk and bet. I'm not a really good risk taker, I know. My parents are really conservative about all that stuff. Now, so this is a risk. I'm throwing my ideas, my thoughts, my actual personal opinions out into the world, and I'll become more confident. I've noticed these videos, they're not very controversial. And part of that is because I'm trying to find my footing and everything. And also part of it is I don't want to stir the boat because if this gets my video is very controversial and it blows up, which I do have some controversial views. I do have to admit that most people do. So it might blow up, but I might lose my job or I might not be able to find a job in accounting because I have an opinion that's not mainstream and millions of people hate me now or dox my workplace because really you can easily find me. Like you can probably find my picture on I don't use social media a lot, but my mom does. So she has some pictures of me. You can probably, and then you can find me. I've already mentioned a lot about me. I've mentioned where I live, like the general area. I mentioned I work in fast. So you can find me, or if one of the people I went to school sees me because I'm blown up on a video or whatever, I gone viral on a video, then they might spread out who I am in real person because you can probably find out where I live too. So I'm probably gonna, as I make more videos, I'll be more confident in explaining my more controversial opinions. But And so this channel probably won't be as political as I want it. Now, I'm not one of those big political commentators or what, but I do have my opinions and I do want to express them. And I really do. And I don't mind if you don't like my opinions or whatever, but if my family gets threatened or I get doxxed, whatever it is, that's going to be bad. So in the beginning, now, once I move out and it's just me who's responsible for my life, and it's okay if I get fired because I have you guys as a back. Let's say I'm making like $2,000. That's all I need, $2,000 a month from this channel. That will be enough for me to live out of a shack and everything. Not a good life, but it'll be enough to survive if I can't find a job because of my views or whatever, because I was doxxed and a ton of people hate me, or like I'd made a bad decision or whatever. And I talked about it on YouTube, whatever it is. I want to make sure this channel can support me at least then. So that's probably going to be like, maybe after a year of doing YouTube, I can really talk more about the controversial thing. And so I really won't be talking much about politics. Well, I probably will talk about who I'm going to support politically and some views. I won't really get into the more controversial things, because if you look at one of the channel I recommend, Simon and Simone, Base Camp with Simon and Simone, they're very controversial. I think a lot of the things they do say is right. They can be canceled and they would be fine, but I'm not. I really can't. And so I know that's an unfortunate state of the world that we live in, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. Like I said, so I have to do this. And I'm trying to see if this will encourage me to take more risks. And I'm trying to do that because I need to be more of a risk taker, especially since I'm really young. And that's pretty much all I have to talk about. I know I can talk more about other topics. I can go more in depth on stuff, but it's already been 41 minutes. I didn't plan on talking about risk and everything, or like or even like my microphone. I didn't know if I was going to talk about it, but that's added to the video. And I don't want to do like a 5-minute, hour-long video. I think this is a good enough place to end. So thank you for watching. I know my first video that's episode 2, because episode 1, it's probably going to be a year before I can post it. Episode 2 is 0 views. I'm not surprised at all. Maybe I'm hoping for the 1 view, like, that, so I can say in my YouTuber, I got 1 view like minimum. And so, but don't worry about it. Like, I'm just enjoying maybe if I've made so many YouTube videos that I can't do anymore, but I'm just enjoying the process of talking about my life and things on camera. Maybe I'll run up things to say after hundreds of videos like the popular YouTubers do. I don't know. And I think that's what's so interesting about it. I really do making this. Like, I didn't think I would have much fun doing these videos, but it's almost like these are starting to become like the perfect parts of my life. Like, these are the days I wait for, is the Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now, I might upload, I have to mention this, I have a Monday off. Okay. And I got to study for class, and usually I have, Monday going to work. So I'll probably come back to this library. I say it's a local library, but it's about 40 minutes away from my house. And I don't live in a big city. I live on like the outside of a city. It's about 30 minutes to get to the city. I'm in a certain city. I'm not going to say whichever one. You probably already figured it out. And so I drive to a local library here, and because it has study room. There is a local library by my house that's 5 minutes away, but I don't think it has study rooms. It's a small library. This is a pretty good library. And so that's why so I'm coming down. Don't forget that was a little bit off. So I'm probably coming down here to the study room Monday to study and to do my proctored exams, because I can't do them at my house. I'll explain later. That's another video. I can't do them at home. And so I need a room where I can take the exam, and this is going to be it, because they have Wi-Fi and everything. And this is where I record a video, and I'll probably do my proctored exam. I definitely know I'm doing my proctor exams here. And so I might record an extra video. Yeah, I know extra videos are coming. I don't know. I think I'll do it about a more serious topic. It probably won't be about my life update. Maybe if I can't still sign in, I'm like, what's wrong with YGU? Because that's where I'm going, YGU, Western Governors University. I'm like, what's the problem with this university? Like, why can't I finally register for my classes and take the YGU, take the proctor's exams to pass the class, and I can move on to the actual harder classes? And because I really want to get them done as fast as possible. And so I'll probably make a video back to that, back off my college experience so far, back to my, so I'll probably make an extra video. That'll probably be a more serious topic. I have my topic ideas. Let's look over them. I have this notebook that I got. I think it's really good. I have to see how well it's doing. It's like a reusable topics. I have a really big note for the great quest of our life, the great quest of life. I did some writing on that, and I tried to prove out my thoughts on that. I might do on articulation because I've been looking up videos for that. I could do on some of the classes I'm taking. I could do about organizational behaviors, or I could do about my YouTube ideas that I haven't really fleshed out. Yeah, right here. I might do it on the benefits of a positive mindset, or I could do it on my skincare because my skincare is not great. But I really used to have you can't see it on the screen. I do have some blackheads, and I do have a pimple on my nose. I'm trying to be like as authentic as possible, but my skin otherwise was really good, except for the blackheads and my thing. But so that's why I used to have really bad acne as a teenager. I had like pimples and everything. I work at a fast food restaurant. I'm looking at the camera, so I'm not. I go to a fast food. I work at a fast food restaurant, and most of the people there have very bad acne. And part of it, I think, and like a lot of them do have some type of skincare, especially the girls. But even the girls are really bad skincare. And that might be like a topic I might do on how I'm pretty lean as a guy, even though I eat whatever I want. I probably won't do like philosophy ideas. So like I was talking about the great quest. Now that I'm thinking on it, that means a lot of preparation for it because I really want to do that video justice. And so I might do that in 2 weeks. But what I probably will talk about is something health related that I can explain in a video that I've already really perfected because I really perfected my skincare routine after about probably 5 years, 6 years of trying. And I'll talk about my experiences, even seeing a dermatologist in high school, which didn't help at all. I'll talk about my experiences doing that. So that'll probably be, thinking about it, that'll probably be the next video. That'll probably be the video title is my skincare that saved my life, or how the skincare routine made me so much more beautiful. Okay, it's 47 minutes. I meant to end the video 10 minutes. I'm looking at the computer or whatever. Here's the thing. Let me take the webcam. And so I'm recording and all that and everything. Is 48 minutes. I think that's a good place to end. So thank you for watching to the end. I know people are probably going to eventually watch it. Right now I have 0 views, but really thank you. Now, if nobody watches, thank myself. Good. I'm always going to do this. I got a good win. I got a good one today. Number one. All I got to do. Let's go. Bye.